The same kviyas like it was, like it is this year. Tez Zayin El is Shabbos. Is Tez Zayin El is Parshas Kisavoi, and it begins on the beginning of our parsha. Hoy Kisavoi Allah Aretz, and it'll be when you come to the land that Hashem, your God, is giving to you, and you will inherit it, and you will settle it, etc. What it says that you will inherit it, and he will give it to you, and you will inherit it. Nimtza comes out. Yeshkam Beis Hamailis. There are two qualities over here: the matana v'yerusha, both the quality and advantage of a gift, and also the quality and advantage of an inheritance. The matana, the advantage of a gift is mashakol anoisen b'ayin yofi unoisen, that everyone who gives with a beautiful eye. Meaning, when you give, it's not like a business deal. When you're doing a business deal, it's in a quid pro quo. You paid me for this amount, that's how much I'm giving you. A gift, you're not stingy, you're not very exacting. You just give because you're giving out of the goodness of your heart. On the other hand, inheritance has a different advantage. This is not considered a new thing. When I give a gift, the thing belonged to me, now belongs to someone else. Inheritance means there's an expression in the Torah that in the place of your fathers will be your children. In other words, the inheritor takes over that the actual inheritor is considered the one that gave the inheritance. It's not two separate beings, or it's one continuation. To such degree that if someone makes a condition that his child should not inherit his properties, so then it's considered making a condition against something that says in the Torah, but automatically the condition is invalid. So the same thing, a person can't go ahead and make such a condition, because that's how powerful inheritance is, because the inheritor is in the place of the person that they're inheriting from. The kan because of nimnu beis milos. Over here in this pasuk, it's enumerated both advantages, both inheritance and a gift. In addition to this, there's also the advantage that you will settle it, etc. Seemingly, we need to understand why specifically are all these details enumerated specifically by the mitzvah of first fruits that we have to bring to the kayin. But it's not in all other mitzvahs that are dependent on the earth. It should also say similar type of language. You go into Eretz Yisrael, you inherit the land, and that's it. Why the special? It doesn't do that. It just says, fine, you will be in the land, you will give. It doesn't go into giving the land, doesn't go into inheriting. Movement is that's understood from this. The mitzvah bikurim mitzvah klolos, that the mitzvah of first fruits is a general mitzvah. V'shara mitzvah same k'moy pratim gava mitzvah zu, and all the other mitzvahs are like details in regards to this mitzvah. Nimnu ma'ilus v'tnoim elu mitzvahs bikurim dafke. That's why these qualities of an inheritor and a gift is specifically enumerated in mitzvahs bikurim, because it being such a general mitzvah. But this will also be understood what the Chazal say b'Medrash Tanchuma. Safa Moshe Rabbeinu al Vashalom Baruch HaKodesh. Moshe Rabbeinu saw in his nevuah the Rosh of Beis Hamikdash Asud Licharev. He saw that the Beis Hamikdash will be destroyed in the future. V'abikurim Asidim Li'Posek, and the first fruits will cease to be, because it's only in the times of the Beis Hamikdash when we're obligated in first fruits. Amad v'hiskin l'hem l'Yisrael, he arose and established for the Yidden sheyu mispalim gimel pam b'chol yom, that they should, that he established for the Yidden that they should daven 3 times every day. Valpia yidu, according to what it's known, shetfilas hem inin kloli b'avodas ha'adam, davening is a very general aspect in the service of a person to Hashem. Okay, move and gamma mashamer as alt feels connected with him tiknum. We can see how crucial and vital it is in the service of Hashem, because what it says that tefillas were established corresponding to the carbon tamid. Moving, it's understood. Gamma bikurim hem inin kloli, also the first fruits are a general matter, because they were replaced by davening, and davening is so important, so that means first fruits are important. Because bikurim are so vital and crucial, that's why tefillah, which Moshe Rabbeinu established in the place of bikurim, are also very vital and crucial. So the Rebbe asks, "What's our lahavna inyam bezeh?" We need to understand the idea behind this. Madua bikurim meaning kloli. Why are first fruits such a general matter? Why also did Moshe Rabbeinu establish tefillos in the place of first fruits? And what's the connection between tefillos and first fruits? Second paragraph on the page. The idea behind this is first fruits are called the first of the produce of the land. The very fact that you call bikurim by the word reishis indicates the first of everything. It's the start of everything. What does that signify? In the supernal worlds, it's referring to the matter that precedes all matters in the chain order of descent of the worlds. In the chain order of descent of the worlds in general, there is what comes prior, and then there's what comes later. Even before the world was created, and even before there was a chain order of descent, two things preceded the world. What are the two things? Shem Yisrael và Torah. Yidden and Torah are considered preceding the world. That's the Chazal say. Ubehem gufam, amongst those two itself, Yisrael kadmu Torah. The Chazal want to know, after deriving from other psukim, that Yidden and Torah preceded the world. As we know, first at the beginning, Chumash, Rashi says over there, Bereishis, Beis Reishis, there are two things that are called the beginning. Yisrael is called the Reishis Tuasoi, and the Torah is called the Reishis Chachma. So both those things are called first. But of the two, which preceded which? So the Chazal say that Yisrael preceded the Torah. Like it says, Tzavas b'nei Yisrael, Dabra b'nei Yisrael, Chidisu Medrash. The Medrash derives, since in the Torah it says already, command the Jewish people, speak to the Jewish people. The fact that the Torah is already recording these commands to the Yidden, that means that the Jewish people existed prior to Torah. And then the Rebbe adds an interesting point. Despite the fact that Yidden preceded the Torah, but the awareness of it, who lets us know this information? Torah is the one who lets us know this. And the Rebbe is going to elaborate on a few different things that are similar in this way. 2 lines from the bottom. This means very fact that the Yidden preceded Torah, Torah, we derive and we know from Torah. Why is it necessary for Torah? If Yidden are higher than Torah, so then Torah shouldn't have a say and even revealing about this. The reason why Torah is the one that needs to inform us this, Torah is called the Torah of truth, which means that through Torah we know the truth of every matter. So the Rebbe says on the top of the next page, a similar thing we find concerning tshuva. Valderech hamavur b'makom macher le'inim mitzvah tshuva is similar to what's explained in a different place. concerning the mitzvah of tshuva. Da'agam she'tshuva yilamayla metoidam, though tshuva is higher than the Torah. Therefore, it has the capability to fix up the blemishes of someone that transgresses the words of Torah. So that itself, that he can fix it up, that means that tshuva is higher than Torah. We call Makim still in all, the revelation of the idea of tshuva itself is through Torah. How could that be? If tshuva is higher than Torah, that even repairs Torah, but because Torah is called Torah's emes, so it needs to reveal the truth and everything. So Torah reveals the truth that Yidden are even higher than Torah. So the Rebbe continues in the third line after the brackets, this is the idea of first fruits, that the Yidden are called the first fruits because they're even higher than Torah. Just like both truma that we give to the kohen and first fruits which we give to the kohen are the beginning of the produce. Truma is what we give from grains, and we give from the vine and the oil, etc. And we call makim bezeh gufa bikurim koydem letruma. Still in all, the first fruits is given first before we give truma. Kacham beruchni, so too spiritually, the Torah of Yisrael, Shneim Kadmu L'Olam, Torah and Yidden, both of them preceded the world, as I mentioned before. V'Shneim Nikroim Reishis, and both Torah and the Yidden are called Reishis. Kemaimer, like the Chazal say, and Rashi brings us down, like I mentioned before. Bereishis, what does it mean? Bereishis, Baralakim, Beis Reishis. There are two things that are called Reishis. Shebishvil Torah shenikra Reishis, B'Shvil Yisrael shenikra Reishis. That the world was created for the sake of Torah, which is called Reishis, and was created for the Jewish people are called Reishis. Yet, despite the fact that both of them are called Reishis, Yidden and Torah, Mikol Makom Bezeh Gufa Yisrael Kadmu Torah, and this itself, the Jewish people preceded the Torah. By the way, in Tanya we have this, and brought down another place as well, from the Zoyar, that Truma can be divided into two words, Torah Mem, the Torah that was given to 40 days on Har Sinai, after 40 days on Har Sinai. So we see that Truma is about Torah, and Bikurim, he said, is the Jewish people. That's why Bikurim, which is the Jewish people, which we said is higher than the Torah, takes precedence even over Truma in Halacha down here. The Nimtza comes out, the Inyan HaBikurim Moiral, Inyan Zeh Shebi Yisrael Shem L'Mayla M'Torah V'Kadmu L'Torah. The idea of first fruits indicates the idea about the Jewish people that are beyond Torah and preceded the Torah. Second paragraph on the page, with this is also understood, the connection between the first fruits with davening. That we said before that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he saw that the Beis Hamikdash would be destroyed and there would be no more bikurim, he established the 3 tefillas every day. The neshama descended down here below, and the became clothed in the physical body. For what purpose? To refine the body, his animal soul, and his allotted portion in the world. This is what it says it will be when you come to the land, etc. It's referring to the descent of Neshama in the body. So that's Kisavei al-Aretz of our parsha. You will come, the Neshama will come into the earth, down here below. The level of the neshama that's enclosed in the body, it's not recognizable, this idea and this advantage and quality that the Jewish people preceded the Torah. Because it's known, not it isn't the entirety of the whole neshama that is above, is what shines down here and becomes enclosed down here in the body. Why not? So he gives a very simple example of a malach. Even a malach is stands a third of the world. What does it mean, stands a third of the world? So that itself, there's 2 interpretations. The Rebbe says, in the parentheses, in Beis HaPirushim Shebezeh, there's the two explanations of this. Im HaMalach Hu Shlisha Olam, does it mean that the Malach is as big as a third of the world, or there's another way of reading this Hebrew sentence, because the Hebrew sentences can be read in different ways. Oy ha'olam u'shlisha malach, or the world is a third of a malach, which means a malach is the size of 3 worlds. Be that as it may, if even a malach is huge, and therefore it's obvious that a malach wouldn't be able to enter a physical body, and the neshamas are even higher than malachim. How is it possible for a neshama to become enclosed in the body? Only a ray of the neshama shines and is enclosed in the body. It's called the leg of the neshama. That part of the neshama, that's the leg of the neshama, is what's enclosed in the body. The ikra neshama, and the primary part and the root of the neshama, who lamaila is above. That's the mazel level of the neshama. That's the part that remains transcendent and above the body. The Chazal say, when there were people around the Nile that trembled, even though they didn't see the vision that the Nile saw, that the Gemara explains that why they tremble if they seemingly weren't aware of anything, because even though they didn't see, their mazel, which is the neshama above, did see. So now, once we realize that the neshama is down here, just to be able to deal with the physicality, and though it does not sense it, though it does not sense its true nature of being higher than the world, and that is the part that the person has to combine and bring together. That's the service of a person through davening. That the davening is a ladder standing on the ground, and its head reaches to the heavens. To join the foot of the soul with the head and the mazel of the neshama. This means to reveal, even in the foot of the neshama, this idea that the neshama preceded even to Torah, which is not sensing and not aware up until davening. Davening is to reveal that connection. Last paragraph on this page. Yet, Paul is seemingly to wonder, how is it possible, how does a person have the capability to join the foot of the neshama with the mazel of the neshama? All matters of the body are incomparable at all to matters of above. Therefore, the neshama and the body needs to have all different types of parables and examples and analogies and metaphors to understand and comprehend a godly matter. How is it possible? You're saying through davening he's going to connect. How is he going to connect with the mazel of the neshama? That's why the pasuk says that Hashem, your God, gives you. It's a gift from above. It's not something we're able to accomplish totally on our own. There's a special gift and a special power from above. Though a person finds himself in this low earth, when you come to the land, only over there he's given the power to go upwards through davening, which is inyan ha'ala, the idea of rising up. Top of the next page. That's the idea of davening. That davening is the rising up, like going up on the ladder that we spoke about before, that Yaakov saw in his dream. By day ha'ala shabbat, through the rising up that a person accomplishes in davening, it comes about that aspect of davening which is about drawing down. Which component of davening is about drawing down? The positive commandment of davening is to daven for his physical needs. They should receive it down here. So there's the elevation and then the coming down. That's the brachas in Shemoneh Esrei. It's request for physical things. So you have the halah, the elevation of davening, the climbing up the ladder to connect with the mazel shem neshama, with the neshama in the body, and then draw down from above, down here below, our physical needs. Second paragraph on the page. That's what it means when you come to the land that Hashem your God is giving you. The descent of neshama is such a way that He gives you. The neshama, even while it's down here below, it binds itself above to be one entity with godliness, till the degree that the servant of a king is the king himself. The same thing, the neshama becomes completely bound up with Hashem. But the neshama descended down here below to repair, fix up, and elevate the body and the animal soul. That's the idea of inheriting. What's the inheritance? It's called Yerusha Sa'oiris the Toiru Shenoflum Midargasam. They inherit those lights of the world of Toyu that since they broke, they fell down from their levels, and they are embedded in physical things that we're doing the mitzvahs, and they're embedded in the body, and they're embedded in the animal soul, and we elevate all those sparks, and we now inherit them. Now, inheritance comes after the passing away of someone. So, the idea of the lights of Toyu falling down, that's likened to passing away. That's what he's saying, that the man, the nafel medarge ikrim, is someone that fell from his level. The Zohar says he's called dead. The idea of the Yerishta of our pasuk inheriting, that's the idea of refining the sparks of Toyu. Once we've done that, we've arrived in Eretz Yisrael, we've received the empowerment from above, and we've inherited the sparks of Toyu. Afterwards, we come to the avodah of raising things up. Then the Beis Hamikdash, it says you will proclaim and say, that's about, again, talking and rising things up, like the talk of davening. And afterwards, after the rising up in the Beis Hamikdash, we come to the drawing down. That was the goal of the Beis Hamikdash, that it had the windows that were narrow on the inside and they were broad on the outside, meaning that the light was emanating from the Beis Hamikdash outward, not the other way around. That through them and from them light goes out to the entire world. That's the Hamshacha, that's what's being drawn out from the halah. Once I brought it to the Beis Hamikdash, I said what I said, I elevated, so now the light can come out to the rest of the world. Through the revelation of the Beis Hamikdash, so then the entire world, the Beis Hamikdash illuminates now, that now we can see the godliness in material matters. The godliness in the physical fruits, like the first fruits that were brought, and the physical bread. That bread is inclusive of all, it's a general term used in Torah for all physical needs. That's the idea of the first fruits. The Beis Hamikdash is destroyed, and the first fruits are going to cease. He established for them the three tefillos. Also, the idea of davening is the same thing. Initially, there is the ascent, similar to what it says, you will proclaim and say. So it's the talking, it's the elevation. The goal is the drawing down, the revelation down here below. That's why in davening, the main thing is speech. Although there's thought and there's speech in davening, seemingly the main part of davening is the thought and the intention. Ukemaim, and as Al Chazal say, what is considered a service of the heart? That's davening. So it seems to be that the thought is primary. The primary thing is the speech in davening. If we didn't speak the words of davening as much as we had intention and thought and heart, it's not called davening. This idea that the main part of davening is the speech will become revealed when Mashiach comes. Then they will see the value of the saying the words, the speech part of davening, as opposed to the advantage of the heart and thought. So too it's in the first fruits. It says that the kohen will take the basket from your hand. The that the word ten is Rosh Tevis Taimim, which is the musical notes with which we sing the Sefer Torah, called the Trop in Yiddish. Nekudis are the vowel signs, and Oisius are the letters. Now we know that in general there's something called Tanta. There's Taimim, Nekudis, Tagim, and Oisius. Tagim are the crowns on top of the letters in the Sefer Torah. So the Mezritcher Magid asks about what the Baal Shem Tov says. Tena left out the Tagim. Why does it leave out the crowns on the letters? The Mezritcher Magid explains that why in the pasuk where it says that the kohen will take the Tena from your hands, it doesn't hint anything about the fourth dimension of the letters in the Sefer Torah, which are the crowns on the letters. Because of all those three, the only one that's not heard in speech is the crowns. The crowns are only something you see in the Sefer Torah. The musical notes, the trop, the vowel signs, the letters, that's what's heard. So what's the point? The gambas aroyim shadibur ikar. From this we see the main thing is speech. And the part that's not in speech, we don't consider it as part of the program over here. The reason for the matter is the ultimate purpose in davening is that should be drawn down here below in the world in a revealed way. By days of Misakim through this we repair the fact that the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed. That's through the idea of speech. Which is called returning the light into the feminine. The feminine level is Malchus, which is also the level of speech. Drawing down the light into the vessel, like Mashpia and Mekabel, Zocher and Nekever, male and female. Through that we make for Hashem a home down here below. We merit the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu soon, Mamash.